Luckily, I live alone, so there are no witnesses to this, but absolutely every song in the book can be sung, and there is a tune to it. I will not be singing them here. I know.
They're all like that, but when I say I won't sing, they'll cheer.
But yeah, and it's interesting because neither of us have heard the audiobook yet, but the audiobook they did set into music, so it's going to be really interesting to see how they deliberately hired actors who actually can sing, which is awesome. So.
But wait, did you not have any input into?
I mean, we did not, partially because that would have involved me getting on the phone with the producer and singing the song. We
didn't want to do.
Yeah. So, but yes, I mean, and we did. A lot of the songs that are excerpted in the book, they're actually full songs behind them that someday may see the light of day. But yeah, there's a lot of Broadway running in my blood. Not as much in John's.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had tunes, but they're bad. I mean, I'm a really bad songwriter, but I like doing it. So most of my songs are either about my son or my dog, and they're 10 seconds long, and they describe whatever the son or dog just did. But I, like everyone, I like to sing, but I'm unusually bad at it. But there are tunes, yeah, for the songs in my head.
I'm Lauren, it's like Lauren but no L. And so you guys were talking about the slang and everything and how you guys don't know what teenage slang is. And if you're looking like through your comments and stuff, has there ever been any weird slang that you had to like look up on Google?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I mean, just touring with him, IRL, I'm like...
You didn't know what IRL is?
Not until we started touring. I was like, that's like the Irish Republican.
There's actually,
So yes, and my Will gets very aggressive in one of his chapters about internet slang and how much he hates it, and I will admit that is totally me coming out. If I could eradicate LOL from the planet, I would in a second. It's not my top priority, but it's up there.
Whereas I will, instead of laughing, sometimes say, I lolled. Out loud. So yeah, so on that issue we are perhaps in disagreement.
Yeah, that's okay.
I will say that there was an example of this recently, which was that during the Project for Awesome, which is an annual charity event that Nerd Fighters do, someone commented something FTL. And I was like, and it turns out that it means for the loss, or for the lose, which is the opposite of for the win, which which means good. And for the loss means bad. And I thought, someone suggested that it might instead mean French the llama. Which has become like Nerd Fighter slang now. So that shows you, but that's what I love about the internet, is that there is that freedom about language, and that, it changes so fast and so interestingly, and so many interesting things can happen.
Whereas I saw F2W and I was like, fuck the what? but they were like, no. And I was like, wow. Yeah, that's where my mind is.
How about the adult over there?
The adult.
Is that an adult? Or a large child?
I wrote all of his chapters.
The question is, how much input did we have on each other's writing, and how much editing did we do of one another? We worked a lot. We worked very closely with each other in the revision process, very, I think, honestly and forthrightly about if there were issues or places where we saw room for improvement. But I would say that David's chapters are very much David's, and my chapters are very much mine.
Yeah, and it was fascinating because I'd never done that before. Where revision, we really went chapter by chapter, page by page, just sort of giving comments and trying to make sure that the book, the last thing we wanted, and I don't think it happened, was for it to seem like two novels that happened across in the middle.
Right.
We wanted everything thematically, meaningfully, with the characters, everything to sync up. So we had some really interesting conversations, and I think the nature of our writing personalities came out in that way, insofar as with John, it was always me sort of telling him to keep things in, and with John, with me, it was a lot of like, well, are we sure we want that in? And so,
yeah, I mean, I think that's, I in the past have always deleted about 90% of my first drafts. And that's not...
Does that mean you write like 1,200-page first drafts?
No, I write like 300-page first drafts, and then I keep 20 pages and then write 280 new pages.
Wow.
It's not efficient, but I don't know another way. So it was difficult for me, and that's pretty weird and unusual, so I think it was difficult for me to try to do it another way. But I'm glad I did.
Did you have any fights?
No, we didn't. We keep
I wish
being
we
asked
had.
that, and we're going to start having fights. Maybe we'll have one right now. It's not, yeah. Stop! Ow!
Yeah. No, we didn't have any fights.
You bitch squealer!
Okay, yes, you.
You guys have both written several books on email.
David's good.
How did you get
But in writing, and I know as writers, like there are times that we're sitting down, we're writing, and we go, that is a load of garbage. But were there ever times that, like, the straight world and the gay world, in writing this book, on each of your own world perspectives, where you had to kind of stop each other and say, no, that's stereotypical, or that's not really how it is?
It's a good question. I think there was one time.
I can't remember what it was.
There was
something that Tiny said that I
It
was
sounded
like,
off voice.
It sounded off voice, and I can't remember what it was.
I can't either.
But so literally, I mean, but we're talking like 1 or 2 lines where I was like, yeah, my team wouldn't say that. But for the most part, no. I mean, I think it really, because the world we live in with our friends and sort of the people that we surround ourselves with, that's not really a distinction that looms very large for us at all.
Yes.
So I don't think that there was really any issues there. And again, I love the fact that Tiny Cooper was invented by John. I mean, as he likes to say, it was birthed by him and then raised by 2 dads, which it's true. And I think everybody would have expected that character from me, but I don't think they were expecting it from John, which has led to some great confusion as to who wrote which chapters. And like my parents, for example, thought that I had written John's chapters. And so I love that it just, we want it to be sort of ambiguous, and we want it to just show that really the experience of being human is not that different. And so for these characters, they have to figure that out, and then they do. And I think we, luckily, as young adults, already know that. Yeah, second row.
Our stutters come up with this in your presence. In John's chapter, Jane says, some people have lives, some people have music. Lots of teenagers live through that, I guess, through music. When you guys were young adults, what category did you guys fall into?
When we were young adults. Thank you. Nicely phrased.
The question is, so what role music played in our young adult lives?
It was phrased better than that, but
right,
we can't
because
repeat
of
it well.
the line from Jane, some people have lives, other people have music. John?
Yeah, I mean, I loved music when I was a teenager, and I loved R.E.M. and The Cure, and I loved the band The Dead Milkmen when I was in high school, and they did play a very important role in my life. I mean, I take great comfort and solace today from the Mountain Goats, so yeah, so music still has that role in my life, I think, but not nearly as much as it does in David's life.
I like that out of context for people in this room who might not be familiar with them, like that phrase, I take such solace from the Mountain Goats. Music is extraordinarily important to me, and I always say that music actually influences my writing more perhaps than other writing does. I'm always listening to music. I can't understand people who write without music playing.
What kind of music?
I mean, it's really anything.